Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. Tonight, I will tell you about a famous urban legend from Latin America. A story that has haunted many people for centuries. This is the tragic tale of La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman. One dark night in a small village by the river, there lived a beautiful woman named Maria. Maria was a young mother full of love. She cared for her two children with affection and attention, even though her husband often left them to venture into the big city. However, on a hot day, her husband returned. But he did not come alone. With him was another woman. Coldly, he announced that he would leave Maria forever. Maria's heart was shattered. In despair and anger, she felt betrayed and cornered. That night, Maria, drowning in deep sorrow, took her two children to the riverbank. The rushing river seemed to call her. With a broken heart and a clouded mind, Maria pushed her children into the river. Their screams were drowned out by the sound of the swift currents. Moments later, Maria realized what she had done, but it was too late. Her children had drowned in the strong current. Maria screamed hysterically, trying to save them, but it was in vain. That night, under the dim moonlight, Maria cried and regretted her actions. Her heart-wrenching cries were heard by the villagers who awoke from their sleep. But there was nothing they could do. Maria ran along the river, searching for her children, but found only endless sorrow. Since that night, Maria's spirit has never rested. She continues to search for her lost children, crying with deep regret. The villagers began to call her La Llorona, which means the Weeping Woman. Every night, especially on dark and windy nights, her cries can be heard along the river.
¿Dónde están mis hijos?
Where are my children? Her heart-wrenching cry can be heard. One night, a boy named Javier, curious about the story of La Llorona, decided to investigate. He was convinced it was just a tale to scare children. Armed with a flashlight and bravery fueled by curiosity, he walked toward the riverbank. That night, the sky was pitch black, with no moon or stars. The sound of the wind made the atmosphere even more eerie. As Javier approached the river, he felt a strange cold creeping over his skin. The sound of the flowing water was louder than usual. Suddenly, he heard a heart-wrenching cry.
¿Dónde están mis hijos?
The sound was very close, as if right next to him. Javier felt his hair stand on end. He turned and saw a woman in a white dress with long, flowing hair. Her face appeared pale with eyes full of sorrow. Javier stood still, unable to move from fear. The woman stepped closer to him, her cries growing louder and more sorrowful.
¿Dónde están mis hijos?
Javier tried to back away, but his feet felt glued to the ground. The woman reached out her hand, trying to grab Javier. At that moment, Javier snapped out of his fear and ran as fast as he could, leaving his flashlight and courage behind. Back home, Javier told his parents about his experience. They hugged him tightly, reminding him of the danger of La Llorona. Javier never returned to that river, and the story of La Llorona became even more believed by the villagers. The legend of La Llorona lives on in the hearts and minds of the villagers, a story passed down from generation to generation. The cries of the woman who lost her children are still heard on dark nights, reminding everyone of the tragic tale of Maria and her eternal regret. Thank you for listening to tonight's story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more scary stories on my channel. See you in the next story. Good night and sweet dreams.